Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. Let me start by asking a very simple question. How can the government, with all the intelligence, trail an empty convoy thinking that they were trailing Raila Odinga? Because from what we saw, it was a fact that the police were trailing Azimio members of parliament thinking that they were trailing Raila Odinga. And they spent hours trailing the convoy. That's a question we will answer in this video. But before we do that, from today's Azimio's mass action, specifically in Nairobi, the mass action today answered three questions. The first question: who are the lords of violence and anarchy in Kenya? Secondly, is William Ruto and his team serious about dialogue and about having an amicable solution to what is currently happening in Kenya? And three, is our intelligence under the leadership of William Ruto up to the task? Or is the intelligence deliberately sabotaging William Ruto? From today's mass action in Nairobi, those three questions were accurately answered. If you are watching us, but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's proceed. Let's start with the first question. Who are the goons, the lords of violence in Kenya? And that question is very important because William Ruto and his team have been deliberately trying to create this impression that Azimio are the lords of impunity, lords of violence in Kenya, and that their mass action has been causing a lot of violence. So Raila Odinga cleverly set a trap for the government, and the government snared itself. Yesterday, Raila announced that Azimio's mass action was to start at 6 a.m. in the morning. That was a trap for the government. Azimio's mass action was delayed till noon. But because it was a trap that the government snared itself, a group of goons who are believed to be government-sponsored goons, very early in the morning, took positions on some strategic roads in Nairobi. They started beating innocent Kenyans and even destroying property. And they even went further to an extreme length of even torching a bus. Simply because, and they did it very early in the morning to coincide with Azimio's early morning mass action. Azimio deliberately delayed the start of their mass action. The government never knew that. They just snared themselves by destroying property in the morning. If you look at that bus, the bus was comfortably parked by the roadside. And some goons from nowhere just entered the bus, after which they torched the bus. And you are seeing clearly the bus had no number plate. So I won't be wrong to conclude that the bus had no number plate for a reason. It was a well-scripted plan for the goons to torch the bus to paint Azimio as the goons. Why was the bus not having the number plate? So the government there snared itself. Raila proved to the whole world that the government is a criminal government. The second question, Raila Odinga, through today's mass action, wanted to confirm to the whole world and even to Kenyans that Ruto and his team are not serious about dialogue. And I'm saying that because Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto have been trying to paint a picture that they are ready to engage the Azimio team. And sometimes back, Rigathi made it very clear that Raila and his team, they know where their offices are, where the office of the president deputy are. If they have any issue, they can just come there for talks, not going to the streets. The police IG, Japhet Koome, is also on record asking the Azimio Brigade where the IBC servers are along Juja Road or in those slums Azimio has been taking their protests and demonstrations to. Today, Azimio sent a team of elected leaders to present a petition to William Ruto's office along Harambee Avenue. They were repulsed, or rather they were dispersed by the police. They were very peaceful, not armed, and they went without their supporters. The police hurled tear gas at them, dispersing them. That confirms that the government is not ready to engage with Azimio. And that goes on to confirm that all the talks by Ruto and his team that Azimio knows where their offices are, those are just politics. Ruto and his team are not ready to negotiate or to engage the opposition. And today also Azimio was to present a petition to IEBC offices at anniversary towers. They were dispersed. So Raila proved again that Ruto and his team are not ready for a dialogue. And then on the third question, the intelligence, Kenya's intelligence under William Ruto, is it up to the task? I strongly believe that Kenya's intelligence is not up to the task, or it's deliberately sabotaging William Ruto's government. And it might be doing that also because of corruption. And we all know that Kenya's intelligence could not know that there were massacre at Shakahola. If you look at what happened today, for so many hours, the police trailed Azimio's members of parliament, thinking they were trailing Raila Odinga. And that's very interesting. They only realized very late that Raila was not in the convoy. And Kenyans have been mocking the government. There is a very interesting tweet here by an individual, Mwalimu Dida Kipkoech Kinuthia. Kenya police chased a convoy for 5 hours thinking it was His Excellency Raila, only to realize that the cars were being driven by mechanics who were in fact doing road tests. When Prophet Mackenzie of Jehovah Watongaran said, "Let there be confusion and mrambano," you thought he was joking. So I think this is just a Kenyan mocking the government. It's actually true that this is a very confused government. A government that even the intelligence could not even know Raila Odinga was not in the convoy. From today's mass action, I believe Raila Odinga changed strategy. And one way Raila Odinga changed strategy, one team of elected leaders, members of parliament, were to present a petition to government offices. Another team of members of parliament was to engage the government on the ground. And the government fell for that trap, thinking that they were engaging Raila Odinga. So the team was basically split into three. There was one team of elected leaders, members of parliament, presenting a petition. Another team was meeting the people, and then there was Raila Odinga and the luminaries at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, I think, house there. Yes, Raila and that other team was somewhere seated, comfortably watching as things unfold. So I strongly believe Raila today outsmarted William Ruto and his team. Raila proved that this is a criminal government, a government that is not out to negotiate or to engage the opposition. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you. God bless you.